The first item that we see, a couple of very important items, so it's easy to carry. Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today, we're going to talk about Horace Kephart's emergency belt kit. You're going to like it. Stay tuned. I find it interesting that unlike a lot of modern survivalists and even the hobo culture who carried all kinds of stuff, including all of their gear in their pockets, Horace Kephart did not like to carry very much in his pockets at all. He much preferred to wear things on a heavy-duty leather belt, carried in a pouch or more, along, of course, with his belt knife. So this would be the arrangement that you would see him carry. He would have his knife that he was very fond of. The original's made by the Colklesser brothers in Pennsylvania. In a sturdy leather sheath, easy to hand. But he also liked to carry things in a sturdy leather pouch that had a good snap on it. Something that would hold it shut so that it didn't accidentally pop open and lose his things. Other than that, what he might carry in his pocket would be something like this, a comb in a leather case to help keep it clean from dust and debris. Also, he would carry matches in his pocket perhaps, and this is an ever-dry brass match safe. And then a good sturdy blade like this. And this one has 3 blades. See that? Kept well oiled, of course, and very sharp. And one of these he would keep razor sharp for first aid purposes. Now, Kephart insisted that this belt kit should never be parted from the body. It was your essential survival items should you be separated from your main pack. Taking it off the belt, and yes, Horace Kephart did wear both a belt and suspenders. The suspenders were for keeping his pants up, and the belt was to carry the gear. So he did wear them at the same time, even though many men of the era only wore one or the other. Of course, it makes sense to have a heavy leather belt and a heavy pouch to go with it, along with your hunting knife. Opening it up, we see inside that there's a number of items that are packed in here. At the very top, the first item that we see is a small leather pouch, and in here we have a small whetstone, and we also have a small fishing kit, heavy-duty line, fish hook, and a cork bobber already attached for getting quick food. Again, this is just the case to carry it, keeps it from rattling and keeps it together. We also have a decent-sized ball here of waxed cordage, and this is super useful for doing repairs and building shelters. It's pretty strong and fairly lightweight. We also have a collapsible drinking cup, or he would carry a tin cup if there was room for it. In a kit like this, collapsible cup is better. It opens up just like this, stainless steel, and then it has this handle that flips in and out, so it's easy to carry. It is waterproof and collapses nicely. The handle folds down inside. That covers it like this to keep the dirt and debris out. And you could carry pills or aspirin, or if you had medications, you could carry them in there wrapped in some wax paper if you preferred. But this would be something that would be very useful for drinking out of creeks and streams. And remember that in the Smoky Mountains back in those days, a lot of the creeks and streams were pretty clean. The next item that we have is a Super Ducks match safe. And this is a large match safe. It is much larger than the one that we carry in the pocket. You can see them side by side here. Again, significantly different. And this just has a large number of matches. You would want strike anywhere matches, and then you might also put a bit of a striker or sandpaper, something rough in there, just in case you needed some extra striking surfaces, in case everything was wet, in case you got wet and you needed something dry to strike the matches on. And these would also be waterproofed according to his special method. Next, we have a waxed drawstring pouch, and inside here we have bits of tinder. We have some nice fluff already prepared, and if you traveled into the North Country, you would also have a bit of birch bark. These would be the things you would collect. This would be your fire kit in case everything was wet, and not only being in the main pouch but also being in a wax canvas pouch, this would keep your extra tinder as dry as possible. The next item, carried in a soap tin or anything else that would fit, the first thing we have is some oleosol in its original packaging. And opening this up, we have the instructions. Open this up. You can see there's the advertisement for it. and a full vial of oleosol. And this is an antiseptic. Next, inside of this little wooden case, open this up, grab a hold of the thread, and in here we have 2 needles and some black and tan thread for doing repairs. Stays down in there, it's easy to get out. We also, along with that, have several buttons on a safety pin. And we have all the way from large to small, depending on what you would need. If you wore suspenders that had a button, Horace Kephart would also sew extra buttons into his pants so that if one button broke, he would already have the next one. He would just stick it on and keep going. But this would be a way to have some extra buttons as well as an extra safety pin. Next, we see that he would carry a stub of a pencil and also a very small notebook. And this would be for taking field notes, anything like that that you needed to write in when you're out in the field. Wouldn't have to be very big, but just something you could write directions on. You could sketch plants or anything that you saw like that that you wanted to remember later. The next item that we have is a World War I 1917 Bauer and Black first aid packet. It contains specifically 2 unbleached bandages, each with 2 safety pins, and a muslin bag with various dressings. These dressings consist of a toothpick applicator, 4 cotton tampons, 4 gauze wipes, 1 gauze wick, and 1 absorbent pad attached to a muslin bandage. So the entire package is also wrapped inside a moisture-resistant, paraffin-dipped paper. And it's all in this nice tin. It's got this metal ring on it, so you would pull this to open it up and get to your gear. And this seems to be the 5-ounce medical emergency kit or first aid kit that he's referring to when you read his writings. The last item that we have in here is a pocket compass, something that is small and lightweight. It also has a locking mechanism where you can lock the needle down and then it moves freely when it's unlocked. And this would be for basic navigation. And when you don't want that to move anymore, you just take and push this down and it locks it in place. Here we have it laid out, not in any particular order. The whetstone, as well as the fishing kit, the little tube that it fits in. We have the matches, we have the waxed cotton bag for the tinder, we have the string, the collapsible cup, the needles and thread, the first aid kit, all of our items in our soap box, the compass, and then finally the heavy-duty leather pouch that it fits in. So according to Horace Kephart and his writings, these are the things that you needed to carry at all times on your body. Again, not in your pockets, but in a heavy leather pouch with a sturdy and strong leather belt to hold everything up. What do you think? Leave me your comments down in the comments section below. What would you add? Would you take something away from this kit? Again, it's got to be compact, lightweight, and something that you'll actually carry. An emergency kit that's too big or too bulky, you'll probably leave at home. Kephart was an expert. He knew what he was doing. After many, many years and many, many trips into the backcountry, but let's talk about it. I look forward to hearing your comments. I'll do my best to read all of them. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also make sure and check out the link in the description box below just under the More button. While you're down there, you'll find the link for our Waypoint Survival digital class. This is where you can sign up to train in the comfort and convenience of your own backyard, the top 20 skills that we consider to be the most important for our Phase 1 Survival and Bushcraft class. You'll also find our waypointsurvival.com link, which is where you can sign up to train in person at our beautiful training facility here in Southern Ohio. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.